Right?
Yeah.
And so we'll get into it next episode of like, why did they show, like, why were the contestants so mad and basically forced Chris and Alana to leave when Brendan and Pieper did the same thing? Let me give you a couple of reasons here. And I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat real quick, okay, for one of them. My first one is I think people heard Chris talking about the followers. You know what I mean? That was apparently a thing that everyone heard. Now, Pieper and Brendan obviously talked about it even to a further extent. Insane how Pieper, first of all, Pieper going, do you remember when I hit 80K?
Yeah. Oh
You're a nobody. Who gives a shit about 80K? Who are you? 80,000 followers. Who cares? There are little flagship stores in New York that have more followers than 80K. Like, I don't know. You're a nobody. But so I think the fact that people missed out on that was big. The fact that
difference
people missed
is that
out on
only the two of them were privy to that conversation.
Exactly.
And from the microphone, obviously.
Man, they're talking about like, oh, Brendan, your name is literally going to be everywhere after this poll. It's very disgusting. Like,
if the other contestants heard that whole thing, I think the episode we saw last night would have been completely different.
Probably. And like, everyone knows people come on these shows for followers. That's nothing new, but we don't want to hear about it. Don't bring me behind the curtain. The other thing is, and tinfoil hat on. So one thing I mentioned to you, Coop, is Brendan and Pieper screwed over the show, not just, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now, who knows? Who knows? Maybe the show was in on it. Like, I don't know. It's weird because if they knew they were dating, then why did they bring, or they suspected it, why would they bring Pieper on?
One of the things we discussed when we were watching this episode is, and you brought this up, part of the reason that you thought that they were maybe airing out everything that Brendan was saying kind of behind the scenes kind of stuff was their way of getting back at him, saying like, you're going to screw us over, like screw the show over by coming on here and fooling us that you weren't in a relationship when you really are.
Yeah.
Then we're going to just show whatever we're allowed to show. We'll show it all then.
To screw him over and be like, you want to fuck with the show? All right, there we go. And which I think is the case. And also, I don't think they would do that to Natasha, who is like,
for sure,
you know, she hosts on Bachelor Nation. Like, she's under the Bachelor umbrella. Like, that's a pretty crazy thing to do to someone who's essentially your employee. But my tinfoil hat theory is that there's a reason why the producers did not probably tell the other contestants all the info about Brendan and Pieper the same way they did about Chris and Alana. It's because, hey, Chris and Alana, you are very interesting to watch crash and burn because you're a nobody, right? So if we can turn you into a somebody for the sake of drama, well, then let's do it.
Yeah.
Brendan, on the other hand, look, he's losing followers like crazy, which I love. But like, coming into the season, he was at like 300K. He's one of the marquee names they got for this season.
Yeah.
So they want to draw this drama out. They don't want them getting kicked off the beach right away. So maybe they were like, hey, let's pull this stuff back. I think it's going to bubble up next episode.
For sure. It's just pretty much stretch it out and put a filler episode in between so we can extend this a bit more.
Whether you're a hero or a villain, you're still a star. So you better stay in front of that camera and dance, my man. Yeah. So, I mean, quick quote of the episode from Joe, in my opinion. He goes, I guess that's just the power of social media. Okay, Grandpa.
Such an old thing to say.
Such an old man.